Hello, Go traders, and how are you guys doing? Hope your trading has been well. I know that the market has been quite crazy of late, right? So now, last week we told you guys what you guys should look out for, and as you can see, we told you of this range that was somewhere around here, I think, and we told you that if price breaks out from that level, that you can now look to buy or sell, depending on where it breaks out to, right? Or you sell, and as you can see, price broke to the upside and then started consolidating, then afterwards dropped, right? So if you were able to keep an eye on that, then probably you were able to capitalize on the move downwards. We'll also be able to capitalize on this move upwards to the upside, right? And we're still holding this trade. So let's see how the week starts, right? So now let's do the top down analysis, and we're going to make this very fast because there's really not much to say here. So we start with the monthly. Now looking at the monthly, like we've been saying for the longest, gold is still looking very bullish, but like we can see, we see this massive drop that's been happening for a while. And like we told you that this drop is going to keep happening, and it's going to even drop lower down to 4,000 and probably even 3,000, right, at some point. So what can we now expect in this new month and in this new week? Now this next month, the month of June, will most likely we could see price open up with a gap upwards and then take liquidity and probably start dropping again. There's also a possibility for gold the month of June to close green. Now I can't really say much about that, but there's a possibility for that to also happen. There's a reason, right? So we could see price come down, take liquidity from some places, and then push back up and head up to 5,000 and close green. And from the next month, which is going to be July, we might start seeing some massive dump down to 4,000 and 3,000. Now, like I said, it can head up. It could also not. It could also decide not to head up at all and just automatically start dropping. So let's go down to the weekly. Let's see what things are looking like there. Now, looking at the weekly, don't be fooled by this green candle that this week closed with. Just because it closed green doesn't mean that gold is going to just start pushing up. No, gold has been messing with people, right? So now, like I said, we could also still see a push up, a gap upwards, and then it could be just to take liquidity and then start to dump, or it could be to actually head up to 5,000, right? Whichever the case may be. Now, there's something I need to let you guys know. If you, the way you need to know when the seasons and the times are changing, right? So that way you get to adjust to the changes in the time in the on the charts, right? Because the way you were trading, let's say 2024, 2025, won't be the way you'll be trading in 2026 now, right? Especially this March, March, April, May, June, May, right? March, April, May, right? Because the conditions on the chart now is a bit different. So even I also had to adjust some things and change some things to suit the current conditions on the chart. Because if I don't do that, if you don't do that, you're not going to be profitable this period, right? So you need to adjust some things. Now you also need to be able to spot when certain changes or shifts are about to happen, and you need to go down, able to go down to a much lower time frame, like the 15 minutes, the 30 minutes, even the 5 minutes, to be able to see internal shifts happening, right? So that way you can be able to capitalize on those moves, right? Because if you're just waiting on for the higher time frame, you might miss out on some things, right? Because price is just choppy and moving sideways for the longest, right? So on the weekly, like we said, anything could happen. This new week could open with a gap upwards, and then price could rally to the upside, take liquidity, and then start to drop. Now on the daily, let's go to the daily. Still the same thing that we could look out for, right? And if you see, look right here, you can see some sort of a range right here that gold was moving sideways, but somehow gold managed to take liquidity. It looks like a liquidity, and then starts to push back up to the upside. So there's a possibility for us to see gold continue, break higher, and then continue, right? Now to where we're not certain, but it could just take liquidity and then continue to drop again, or it could decide to head down to up to 5,000 and then drop from there. Anyone, whichever one it wants to do, we never know. Okay, so either way, we just need to, like I said, keep a close eye on the chart so we know exactly what's happening. So I can't just tell you guys do this, do this. No, things are different now, right? So you need to be able to watch and observe the chart and know when those shifts in there's a shift in the structure, or a change in in the direction on a much lower time frame. Now looking at the 4 hour, it's still very much the same thing. So nothing much to say here. So I think one of these days we're going to try and go live so that we can all trade live together. I used to do that, but I've not done that for a while now. All right, so this is all I can say for this new week. So let's just see how everything goes, and I'm going to keep you guys updated as much as I can. I do hope you have a wonderful trading week. This is all I can say for now, guys. Peace out. Bye.